Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Fantasy Rugby Yanks. My name is Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauber.
Let's get into it. We got lots to cover with a couple of comps kicking off this past weekend. Plus, the Premiership just kept going like steady Eddie over there.
Yeah, a lot of rugby this weekend. A lot of good rugby this weekend.
Yeah. I could not get enough, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I watched even the Free Jacks match. I watched all the way through. Basically.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I would have been asleep if it wasn't that match. I can promise you that. I was tired.
Exactly, I agree. But we both braved the night.
We did.
And it was a good match too, so it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. All right, crack them.
Indeed.
Find us where you get all your podcasts. Download, rate, review. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah.
That's a good pour.
That'll do. That'll do. Buy our friend George the Fantasy Rugby Geek Coffee, because if you've braved this first weekend of much action, just wait. There's one more to kick off still, and that's next weekend. So just you wait.
Yeah, it's coming. George will be busy. Buy him a coffee.
Yeah, buy him a coffee, beer, however you see it. Do it. Get your TR upgrades. As I said, it'll be a busy weekend. Set of weekends coming up. You don't want that headache of trying to figure out who's playing where and all that good stuff. Green dots are magic. Grab those things.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, as always, and there is no room for racism in life or in rugby. Yeah, we had another fucking hell. Again.
Shooting.
Yeah, it's and it's
the same, Minneapolis again, and a mayor who promised to and then apparently did ban no-knock warrants, but apparently requesting them is still standard policy. So
yeah, somebody didn't get that fucking memo.
Right. Obviously he followed through on that. It's just
right.
This is why there people march. This is why there's a defund the police movement, because of the police funding lets them do stuff like this. Like they're just so powerful. They have so much, because your money is power. They just have no accountability and feel like they can do whatever they want, and they're not exactly working for the public benefit. So it's not.
It's really frustrating. It's
and
really
the sad
annoying.
part,
it's just like
the even saddest part is that our news scares people. Like Amir Locke was scared into buying a gun lately because our news really has been, trying to push that there's a crime epidemic. Now there's a shoplifting epidemic, but
that is a crime technically, but
it is technically a crime, but it's like not violent. It's based on need. Obviously, we're not really taking care of people right now.
Correct.
Or ever during an actual pandemic,
especially during a pandemic. Yeah.
And so, the crimes of need are going to increase, but that doesn't mean you have to scare everybody. Oh, they're coming for you. And no, they're not. Except the police are, apparently, that's the fucked up. That's the whole thing is so fucked up.
Yeah. They're coming for you, but it's not the people you think. It's those assholes.
Yeah. It's not good.
No.
So
really fucking stupid, man. Sucks.
Yeah.
Also, we had another mini January 6th today in Massachusetts as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard.
10 protesters got into the state house here as well. More pissed about the mask mandates than anything, but
they're doing that Ottawa thing.
Yeah. Yeah, except yeah. I mean, it was, from what I understand, it was 10 people, and most of it was a joke. But at the same time, you don't want one person getting into the state house when they shouldn't.
Right. That could lead to bad things happening.
Agreed. But it's a couple of the reporters I read it from were like, this is kind of a joke, actually. But yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah,
a thing.
but it is a thing, and it's got to be. That's how they get away with shit. They're like, "Oh, we were just joking," and it wasn't really meaning anything. That's what they're doing with January 6th, and it's like, no, it means something. You tried, just because you failed,
died,
just because you took your shot and you missed, and now, like, there's consequences to that. You don't get to be like, oh, we didn't really mean it. Like, no, you fucking
okay. Last time, ask the people that died whether or not it meant something,
right,
and their families.
Like, you cannot say we had a peaceful transfer of power. Like, that's
kicking and screaming.
Yeah,
kicking and screaming. All right, to the rugby. We had an interesting appetizer to kick us off for the weekend. Ireland and Wales in Dublin, full stadiums, which is great to see, man. That just warms the heart. Doesn't matter if it was in Dublin or if it was in Perry. Great stuff. Sexton kind of turned back the clock a little bit, although his kicking was something to be desired off the tee. But other than that, that was his field of play, ball in hand. He was kind of looking like Sexton of old, and that makes things good for Ireland. I can tell you that much.
It does. It didn't help that his opposite number looked the opposite of that. So it was like it's that much more of a, like, he looks that much better because of Bigger
had a bad day.
Not good. Actually, and you know what? Looking up and down that Wales lineup, I'm like, who actually had a good day?
Not many. No.
And it's few and far between.
Yeah, it is. It was, and I'm sure the Welsh will all know how painful it was. Josh Adams had an absolute stinker. My goodness, was he bad?
Oh, yeah, not
that 13 good. Shirt is not a good place for him, and the yellow card on him.
Not North.
With the hit on Sexton. I was like, and he's like shaking his head. I was like, you're an idiot. You're lucky he didn't make head contact. You'd be off.
Oh, that was an excellent body check.
Yeah, this is not ice hockey, dude. Hell with that shit.
And I'm sure it was like the most satisfying hit of his career.
And I'm sure everybody would join into hitting Johnny Sexton in such a manner.
Like, if you had the chance, if you had the chance, wouldn't you?
Even the Safa ref is just like, that's not legal. I was just like that tells you a lot right there.
And the fucked up part is he also could have done it without looking. Like, he looked right at it. Like, he was not looking at the ball. He was looking right at Johnny Sexton. He's like, I'm going to line you up and just throw this shoulder right. And it's like, subtlety, sir. Be a little subtle. I mean, they were going to let him get away with it. But it was they noticed that he's looking right at even after they checked it. It took them a couple viewings. They're like, well, that the motions seemed somewhat natural. If he was going for the ball and it bounced weird, like he was going in a thinking it might bounce this way. But he's, instead of
the second he put his eyes on Sexton, he was dead.
Right. He looks at Johnny Sexton and it's like, no, well, now we know what you're trying to do.
Yeah. We spoke about last week in several points about how crowded the Ireland back three was, and this is a pretty good one right here between Keenan Conway and Mac Hansen with a very, very good debut for Mac Hansen as well.
I couldn't. Wow. Okay, so here's I don't get British and Irish humor sometimes, so maybe I was mistaken, but I saw a whole bunch of tweets like about how Mac was bad or something like that. Like he didn't play. I'm like, I can't tell if they're being sarcastic.
I think it might be a wee bit of jealousy, honestly.
Okay,
I didn't think he was bad.
I'm like, he was awesome. Like, he was, every time he touched the ball, something awesome happened, and like maybe it didn't end well every time.
Player of the match for him, yes, as well.
Yeah, like I
not undeserved by any means.
No, and there was some serious performances.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, we talked about Sexton, Ty Byrne. I mean, what's not to love? And then
man's a monster.
And Van der Fleer is
he needs to be 7 every day. Oh my goodness.
That shirt should be glued to him like it is to Michael Hooper.
Yeah, don't change a wink, Andy Farrell, on that one.
Right.
No way.
That's it. And for how old is he?
Old is Josh Van der Fleer. He's
28.
Okay, so he's got a few more years left in his tank.
Right.
He should go to France.
At least this World Cup, if not the next. Like all through that, until he's ready to walk away, really.
Agreed.
He's been good, and he's just hitting a whole other level lately.
Yeah, 11 carries the other day. Very, very high work rate in that case. Plus he's obviously all over the place as a 7 doing 7 things. So one on top of the other there makes it a pretty good day. And I do want to mention Bunny Yaki looking like he's turning back the clock a little bit too. So
he has
on him, although I saw something and it was a very good point and it kind of hit me like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Not seeing him play in a Joe Schmidt system really.
Yes,
really
I saw. I know that exact tweet or whatever that you're talking about, because I was like, that's true. I have no idea. I've never seen him outside of that Joe Schmidt system. So he's not. No, he's not one dimensional.
Nope.
Not that I I just had never seen it from him.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty clear about that.
Certainly at this stage.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty clear when I make like criticisms of players. It's like I haven't seen this from somebody, or I've seen this done poorly. Like it's not. I had never seen that from Bundy. So cool. This is awesome. I mean, him and Ringrose looked like they gel. Like it's a great combination too.
Across the aisle, the other center that didn't completely suck. Nick Tompkins has long been, Mr. Turnstile in the middle, at least in an international stage. The dude made 21 tackles on Saturday. He missed 3, but that's still an 87% success rate
from a
not
center.
Fun spot to have to tackle people, like especially out there
with playing a man down. Like
he was not the it's true. His partner was gone for a little while.
He was the center for 10 minutes there. So
didn't get got a couple backward steps on some of them too. I think he made 4 dominant tackles, which is really good.
Yeah, from a center, that's amazing.
Yeah. So either way, point being, it wasn't all just like soak tackles. He was able to put some shoulders in and drive backwards. And then the other person that I think probably put his hand up was Tane Basham, and he put his hand up in the fall with what is still a very depleted Welsh back row, and really has said really I belong somewhere in the 23 at minimum for this team, no matter who's healthy
available. Yep.
I was very, very, very happy for the kid. I do like him a lot. So
I was super disappointed by Wales front 5.
Agreed.
There's they got nothing out of them.
None.
And that really hurts so much. I mean, maybe they scrummaged well. I can't remember how the scrums went, but it's so much that I didn't notice anyway. And but other than that, it's like you still need them around the pitch.
You got to have him at the paddock, and Elias I knew was going to be in deep trouble when he got named to this team. I was like, this is not going to go well for this guy. Wasn't impressive in club play. Wasn't great in the fall. So sorry to say that was always going to be a tough day on him, especially with James Ryan and Tyke Byrne as your opposite jumpers. No field general and Alan Wynn to
and Beard and Rollins are kind of they're like the lumbering lummoxes. They're like they're two complementary locks, and it's like, but you need to be complementary to somebody.
They need somebody else to be complementary to, not each other, because that doesn't work well. That doesn't work well. All right, let's go up to Edinburgh and BT Murray Field, and the talk of the weekend for the most part, I would say, only because it was the closest match by far. But the Scottish get it done, and it's bad news for England all over again. And we thought maybe Eddie had put some of these hexes behind him in the autumn, and here it is again, just rearing their ugly heads.
Well, and it's for the same reason too. It's the same reason. So Marcus Smith has 17 points. He has all of your points, which means that when you pull him, you're deciding you're done scoring, essentially, especially when you pull him for forward, and you're just going to play field position and try to hold him out. It's like you go to the prevent defense, and that's kind of what they do. They don't play to win; they play not to lose.
A little bit. And really, as much as I would love to, take a good shot at Ford here, I don't have a problem with anything Ford really did. What I think the problem is you pulled Marcus, and those are not the same things necessarily. I don't. Ford was not the problem. Marcus leaving the field was the problem. There's a difference,
right? Because he was just they were, Marchant didn't have a great day.
No, he was quite poor.
Here's the thing we've been talking about in the lead up to this about Freddie Stewart and the things he's good at and the things that he doesn't do. And the things he's good at are bomb diffusing, and the things that he doesn't do are running in space. He's not good at that.
That's just not his thing.
And he had to run into space so much. And it's like that didn't do them any favors because he didn't really operate. Like he could have had Malins a couple times on some moves, but he's just like, no, I'm just going to run because I'm big and huge. I'm going to try to run people over. And it's like, that'll work maybe once and maybe at the Prem level, but here you're just going to get tackled. And not, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that like Scott, credit to Scotland for getting England to do something that they shouldn't have been doing.
Correct. Yeah. And
like that was really well done. I mean, I'm sure that was part of the plan. Like if you have a chance to make Stewart run, make him run because he doesn't fucking do it.
And I question to a point England's game plan in the first half where they often kick the ball away and into the corner. Now, Scotland replied in kind very often and, sometimes by the skin of their teeth. But there has to come a point where ball in hand becomes the priority and not trying to kick it into the corner, especially when you've pinned them in their own end for a good chunk of the first half. Like, get more points out of it than a couple pens.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to say it. You know my feelings on this.
Yeah. Don't bring kicks for a try fight.
Right. And yeah, they scored one try and they let up two. And there you go.
They'll do it.
You gotta really unleash it. And the time that they did unleash it, hey, Marcus put it over. And people are like, yeah, but Ben Young's actually had good service on that. Well, yeah, but first he wasn't taking from the deck. And second, it was like not on his time. He had to be the link in the chain. He didn't have a chance. Yes. Or he didn't have a chance to think and stop and slow it down for it to be perfectly, situated for him.
It's the one good thing Ben Young's did all day. So.
Right. And that was like, okay, threw one good pass, but he slowed it down so much.
He was
whether he's like flapping for a penalty that's never going to be there.
Yeah. He's always been the type of scrum half. And I hate watching any scrum half or fly half that stands there and watches his guys get the ball poach, get off your ass and take the ball away. You can pick and drive for 2 phases while you get back to your feet. Like if you're not willing to do that, you shouldn't be playing international rugby, period. Okay. That's the point. And the thing is, like, there's so many people that like his box kicking. His box kicking was fucking atrocious.
It was terrible.
Like, if you counted just the errors on that, you're probably looking at 5 or 6, and that's probably being nice too. So
and how many with advantage? He
was bad
when he didn't need to. Like how many times they had advantage, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to kick it over the top."
Did that stupid dink over the top? I was like, "No, what are you doing, you moron?"
Yeah, like you're not. No. You're not the guy.
I'm sitting next to 2 England fellas, and they're both shouting, "You moron!"
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing that happened on Saturday when my wife walked in. She's like, "Smith got pulled for Ford," and I was like, "It wasn't Ford's fault." She's heard me rave about Marcus Smith to that extent. Right. So, but let's just transfer over to the Scots because not everything that England did wrong cost them the game. Scots had to take advantage of it. Lots of good things going on for the man that had the best 10 minutes of his life when he came on the field. Apparently, there was somebody that said, "Yeah, Ben White." Yeah, he said, "I went back to the bench and they asked how was it out there." He said, "That was the best 10 minutes of my life."
Yeah, I mean, sure it is. Like,
yeah,
to put one over on, on Murray Field in front of the fans all cheering for you, like
in the
against England. Yeah.
Yep.
And then for it to be contribute to a win, even like after the fact it's just that much sweeter. And he's such an he's been excellent at the Prem level. So this is just like his opposite number, who didn't even get in the fucking match.
Randall,
yeah, like that he adds that little spark. And like even though they, Ali Price doesn't need it, I don't think he played particularly great.
I don't think so either, but he is usually high quality. Didn't do anything really wrong to send them on. I think he was the one that got kind of hung out to dry on the
Mm-hmm.
Smith try, but there's a lot going on with that one. You could blame him for it, or you can't. Doesn't
right.
Not my decision.
But White did he did manage his try, and he was on the field for that. That's just the sweet movement, all back and forth across the field that ended in the penalty try. So that's kind of that extra juice, and I'm not putting that all on him, but you got to have someone to direct it. And he was the one who was in when it happened, so he gets a little bit of credit there.
Right. I mean, and we saw how dangerous this back three for Scotland is as well. Like Hogg, the forgotten man, Darcy Graham, and Duhan. Very good. Very, very. They didn't really put much more than a foot wrong, honestly, including Hogg's little harem scarum moment where he almost hit in Maximilian to try. I was like, woo, that was ballsy as hell. But great confidence. But that's one of those things. Great move. Don't ever fucking do it again.
Right.
Like Major League style.
I'm glad that worked, but I don't want to ever see that
again. No. I did not have Matt Fagerson on my bingo board as man of the match for this one, but
that's
13 tackles. I don't think he missed any. Just how many carries did he have? He had a bunch of carries too. Let's see. He had 8 carries and 13 tackles. He didn't miss any tackles.
Not bad.
Yeah, he was, and obviously he just that's a lot of he's just a lot of bulk in there too against a team that likes to push you around.
Yeah.
As well, so good on him.
And can we go back to talk about Nick Ezekwe for 1 second, because
we can turn back that and then we'll go to the penalty try and we'll move on.
He had that like 20 minutes of a career, and that was it at the England level, and finally getting another chance, and
so he got 76 minutes this time.
He was excellent. He played his butt off. There were a lot of guys on England who played their butts off and really
didn't get the credit they deserve because the victory didn't come to them, obviously.
Right. But Ezekwe did his job super well. So good to see that, because it took him a little bit to bounce back from his 20.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's a kick in the nuts when you get something like that happens.
Good mental toughness right there from Nicky.
Yeah. So let's go to the penalty try, and let's start with the credit that it deserves to go to, and that's Finn Russell picking out the fact that his winger is going against a hooker on the other side. It doesn't matter which hooker it is. It could have been LCD. It could have been
Jinx would have caught it and kicked it
10 million meters downfield.
Right. And gotten England's line out inside the 22. That's what would have happened if Jinx was in.
So you hope. But really, in the end, it doesn't matter if it's Jinx, Blummeyer,
right.
Freaking anybody.
You do.
It could have been anybody.
You take that shot.
Yeah, that's the shot to take, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to come out for the Scots, and this one did, and in probably the worst way possible for England, with a penalty try and a yellow card. And here's the other thing.
Could he have at least tried to make it look like
he needed to try and catch it, and
make it like at least have your hands parallel, not like they talked about the volleyball. Like, yes, that's what you're
England volleyball.
With your hands are flat. There's no If he had his hands to the side and then just like smacked it, like brought them together and smacked it with one, they would have been like, oh no, he's making a legit attempt. He's just an idiot hooker.
Yeah,
and it would have been like, okay, just we'll have a knock on and that'll be that. But no, you have to fucking like, you got to be okay.
Slap it out of the air and into touch.
At least. Try to make it look like you're catching.
Not good at all. We both have the same opinion on the referee in this match. There were some 50-50 calls that you kind of throw your hands up and go, that was stupid, but whatever. He got that right, and that was the biggest call of the match.
He did.
So say what you will about anybody else that made errors, and I don't think he did by any means whatsoever. Just that was absolutely bang on decision. I've yet to see somebody that can actually make a case otherwise.
Right, and it goes back to this is why Razzie's rant was harmful to bringing up stuff like this. It's because he's right in the case that different referees interpret it different ways. He was wrong in how he presented it, but Ben O'Keefe called it as Ben O'Keefe calls matches. And if you don't know how officials call them like they're all different. That's why like nobody likes French officials, because there's no way to know what the fuck they're going to talk.
Yeah, they're going to care about.
So, but like English referees, yeah, they're going to be bastards about high tackles and forward passes. And you know who's not is New Zealand referees. They're like, that was close. He tried to go low, whatever. And then a seatbelt tackle, he's all right. He'll be all right. Give him a beer after the match. He'll be okay. and a forward pass, it looks flat enough. And look, he got to run with the ball, so worth it. Like that's how they operate. So play to the ref. And also you complain to the ref. Like realize who you're dealing with and what they're gonna, you know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Like Piper is going to be an asshole. He was an asshole.
He's an idiot. Yeah.
Mike Adamson is going to be completely lost on the pitch. And he was completely lost on the pitch.
Yeah, as he usually is. And even at the end, like I totally expected O'Keefe to make a random decision on those scrums. And he didn't. He's just like, I'm not making this.
Right.
You really gonna have to show me something clear for me to blow my whistle and give a penalty away. Other than that, no. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that and trying to let the players sort it out themselves. And yeah, it was a little bit boring and long, but
yeah,
this is he knew what was at stake. So credit to him for not folding on any of that and giving up on it. So
right, I thought he did all right. Hey,
yeah, we have the Scots holding the Calcutta Cup one more time.
Well, again.
Probably more times than Eddie Jones ever thought he'd deal with it. And I don't even want to like get into the Marler thing. Like that's not worth it, because Marler did the best that he could. I mean, it's not his job to throw in. It was Eddie's job to try and find a way to get Jinx on the field or live with the consequences of what was going to happen if Marler screwed up the throw.
Right. And I don't think Marler screwed up the throw as much as the person he threw it to was like 2 meters over the line. Like
it was a poorly designed line out in the end. Right. Really, that's what it came down to. I was like, even my kids know not to do that shit.
Yeah. So like these guys are internationals, really. Like, okay, it's fucking disrespectful to the proposition to not have a lift. Like he can do it
as well.
He should be able to have a throw. Like even if it's
give him a fair contest up there.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't get cute.
Silly. Scots hold the Calcutta Cup for a little bit longer, and they'll get to marching them, Twickenham next year with it. All right, let's go to Sunday. Stade de France. We won't spend a ton of time on this, but I do want to point out that Italy played pretty effing tough for quite a while until the dam broke. And I know that's what we always say about the Italians, but there's something.
But did the dam really break?
There was something very different about this Italian performance than we used to.
France didn't break 40, and if you don't get a 40 burger, it's not like, and it's 27 points. Like that's a thorough butt whipping. Let's put it that way. But France are potentially the best team in the world, and if you're losing to the best team in the world by 27, and this is after, as you mentioned, Squidge mentioning, Italy did very well against New Zealand. Like this is not a bad Italy team. They're quality. They have a lot of good like. This isn't like, some teams where you could be like, oh, there's, 4 or 5 players that had won out there, and then the rest are just giant holes. It's like, no, there's about like 10 players out there that are fucking players, and like 2 or 3 guys that maybe could do better, and then like 1 or 2 that are like, okay, no, like you should,
yeah.
But
and that'll
such
happen.
a drastic flip from what it used to be.
I agree.
So there's a lot to like there.
And let's start with the Italy try, the Monticello try. Like that was pure brilliance. I was like, that's going to count. Like I didn't even need to hesitate about that. I was like, that's going to count. Didn't need to see the replay. It was just a great play overall. And
I was like, no, his feet hit
little flare and
thing. But
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
I love it from the Azzuri. That is awesome. And a good tough to beat Azzuri team is only good for this comp. Like
it is.
And
France had their work cut out for them. They had to work a lot harder, and it didn't like. Yeah, you're right. There's, you look at some of the stats, and it looks, like they had a day, and they did, but it could have been so much. Like they could have doubled this score easily.
18-10 at halftime, and that was with a try right at the death of the half. No,
yeah,
make that up.
Yep. Yeah, you're correct. Villiers had his second try right.
Okay.
Yeah.
At 40. Okay, so there you go. Like. Yeah, there's lots of good things going on here. the Italians. I'm excited to see what this team can do when they go back to Italy. Like a little bit more support for themselves, a little home cooking, all that stuff.
Zano and Brex are that's a combination.
That's a quality combination, no doubt whatsoever.
And Ioane, I thought, played well too, and Varney showed well. He wasn't like outstanding, but certainly had his moments.
Did you hear the little rumor on the broadcast that Callum Braley is looking to come back to England?
I did hear that.
Might be somebody out there for people, which is also probably why Hidalgo Klein's going to Benetton.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's the potential rumored move.
I think.
For him.
Hidalgo Klein would be better than Braley, I think.
Yeah, so we'll see. But either way, let's turn our attention to Les Bleus, because they did come out good on the end. They got all the points that they were required to come out of this. And it was just always going to be a tough day for the Azzuri at the same time, as well as they played. Like, you look at the lineup and you're like, there's still guys missing, and I still don't see too many caps. That's bad. That's the bad part.
It's really bad like that, because and Dante unfortunately is injured coming out of this, but that whole back line was
Moefana might get a shot here.
So that back line was bad. And putting Wokey up at 4, I love it, because you know how, like,
worked out well.
You already have Valemsa as your rock, and you've got him on the tight head side. Not that you really need it with Antonio.
No, oh my god, Antonio is a monster. I didn't realize how huge he was until they were just kind of sizing him up. I'm like, holy fucking hell, he is a big boy,
large human being.
And Dowie was just like freaking jerking off about the size. I'm like, dude, Dowie, shut up, please. That's one guy I'm glad we don't have to hear a whole lot of outside of international windows, because as helmets go, he's probably near the top of the list. But Paul Willemse, somebody pointed out this highlight, and he is a machine. One man lift, didn't get the throw, went over and sacked the freaking maul, like just kind of let his guy down easily, and went over and sacked the maul right afterwards. I was like, that's just that is monster like. That is just that's beastly. You cannot do that. You're not supposed to be able to do that. But say what you will. Yeah, he's South African born. That man is full-fledged French. They love him. They love him. So, my goodness. And
that allows you to have a Wokey up at 4 too, because that way you can, you have your rock. You have 2 rocks now in your in your front, and then have a runner too, and that helped. I think that really made a big difference. For France, because again, it wasn't as wide a difference between the two teams as was you would have thought going in.
Certainly, even like last year in Rome, if you think about last year's match down there, there was a lot.
So having a runner was important, because they needed every point essentially, because Italy were just so
nearly there.
Yeah, it felt very Worcester like, in that they did good things, and then it just went bad. It was just like just a miss here or there that just comes with time, and these guys getting together.
Yeah, they got to stop handing dudes tries as well.
Yeah,
the Gillan's try. I was like, that's not going to help your cause. Don't do that. Would not advise that. I think it was that Barney that threw that.
I think
it wasn't. It was. I mean, it was a soft pass. I was like, I know you're trying to be nice to your teammate, but put a little mustard on that one, because better a knock on than a try. Put it that way.
Right. You had time to just step into it. Yeah.
Oopsie. But better from the Azzurri. French get off to the start. We know Villiers flying through a hat trick. Like, everybody was screaming for it, I think, at one point.
Right.
Get him a hat trick. He didn't want to come off. I knew that. I was like, he's not coming off. All right. Let's rewind the clock. Let's go to Friday night in the Prem. Gloucester and London Irish. This feels like it was ages ago.
Really does.
Oh my lord. But Gloucester continue to be Gloucester, and they're a very tough team to play against, whether they're at Kingsholm or elsewhere. And if you didn't have Ruan Ackerman, you weren't listening to the pod last week, because damn.
Right.
Got himself a pair.
He did
end the match.
And what else did he do? He had 39 meters too. His tries weren't like, they were Bruin Ackerman tries.
They were very Ackerman tries.
Right. But he was also like a hard runner outside of that, which is in 16 tackles. Yep. I mean,
that'll do it.
Right. Just doing excellent work all around the pitch, more than we expect from him normally, but he's been on another level this year.
Yeah, he's really.
He was kind of bleh. At least let me put it this way: last year he was kind of bleh. This year he's been.
I think even he would admit that as well. I really do. So it's a
It left a sour taste in my mouth, and obviously I'm not alone because I think it left a sour taste in his.
Right. I agree. It's too bad Lloyd Evans had to start this match and they couldn't plug Adam Hastings in a little earlier, but didn't think Evans was awful, but I think we know what Hastings is capable of, so there's that as well.
Hey, there's a name that from the olden times, it seems, who although the olden times weren't that long ago, Ollie Thorley, tearing up plastic.
So not trees.
not quite trees. What an amazing performance from him. He's been slowed by injuries and whatnot, and I think he's back.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody at Gloucester would love for him to be back in full and full of it, because a healthy guy for him, like if he's healthy, they're going to be a threat, and they're now sitting third in the Prem, so it's going to be already a great start to the year for Gloucester. We'll see what comes in the end,
and they have a good chance.
I'm
no spoilers exactly, but they have a good chance to kind of even keep gaining ground. So like not so much like like just putting some distance between themselves and Quins.
Yeah, and Quins, and obviously they want to stay away from fifth place as well, so they can keep it in semifinal at the very least.
Right. Like this next couple of weeks with the Six Nations, where they're not hurting nearly as much as some of these other teams.
No, not at all.
Is really going to be helpful for them to put them in good position down the stretch.
Atkinson got released this week too, didn't he? I didn't see him on the list. I don't recall him.
Don't recall him on that list. Yeah,
put it that way. Maybe he's there and I just missed him, but
right.
I don't recall him on that list. I think I'd see him. He'd be at the top. No.
For the backs, did they go in alphabeticals?
Yeah, I thought they did. Maybe I'm making that up.
I'm opening it up now.
Yeah. Set up that we're going to go to Ashton Gate next.
Okay.
Sorry, Irish, you weren't good.
No, they were not. That
period.
Was poor performance on their part.
Yeah.
Although Cracknell played pretty well. Yeah,
we know he's got in him at least. Yeah, let's go to Ashton Gate, and Bristol being Bristolians again, and they kind of had to kind of rejig they had made like 4 changes by the time they came out for the second half.
Something like
that.
I
was like, that's less than ideal. That's a lot. Atkinson away.
Hold on. Let me see. It's not loading.
Oh, well.
No, it's a page not found.
Okay. I'll check that later then.
Yeah.
But I mean, very the urine try, the Morahan try, just that looks a lot like the team that we're used to. Alpatila getting one as well as a sub. Like, yeah, that looks a little bit more like it for
they're looking Bristolian. Yeah, especially with Whiteley at 10. Who knew?
Well, I mean, yeah, he was 10 for like 15 minutes, and they had to put him at 9 because
Kieran
got hurt. And they had to bring him but yeah, I mean, even while he was playing 10, they did some good things. Obviously, they got over the line.
I mean, he was still taking the kicks too, which is pretty impressive.
He was, yeah. No, and we've seen him as a couple of series guys take his kicks. There's a particular guy that we were wondering, is he back? And he might yet be, and that's Piers O'Connor. Okay.
I mean, it helps to have,
Rads, yes.
Rad Raja and Purdy and now Nalaga, like all these people around him. And Tiff Eden even did well, as you said, as that 10 and White, that whole back line played a very fluid match. And that helps when you're playing with guys with like kind of fits and starts kind of guys, it's hard to show well yourself. So that's what was holding Piers back a little bit. Now that they're kind of close to full bore,
damn close, yeah.
There's a few extras missing, the Pietals and the Sheedies and the Randalls, but okay, like they still have they're loaded for bear.
Yeah, they're ready to rock.
And Fitz Harding has been just
he's been a revelation for those guys, big time.
I think he learned a lot from Ben Earl, to be perfect. And I thought I saw it last year too.
You might have, yeah.
Because they're very similar and
not dissimilar, at all. I agree.
Be having somebody to watch and as an example and be like, oh, okay, that's what he does there. That's what I can do that.
Yeah. And one thing I'll give the Falcons credit for is they were playing some of their youngsters. Hayden Wood was at 10, Sam Stewart was 9 until he had to come off, and they had Nordley Callum Medion, and he played pretty well too. So I give him credit, and honestly, ride that. Just your season's not. You're not getting top 6. You're not getting top 4. Ride that, okay? Right. And whoever's in charge at Newcastle, don't get rid of Dean Richards. If he does this, he's doing it for a damn good purpose, and you just gotta trust him. But ride this. Like, Brett Connon is not going to be year 10 for the future. You can probably even save a few bucks and go find somebody else. Like, no.
Right. And I just think they didn't have enough possession to really get going. And that kind of,
that'll take a sting out of you.
59%. Well, I guess that's because Bears were scoring pretty quickly when they were scoring.
And then the yellow cards all over the place, obviously, as well. So that always just combobulates you.
There was that yellow card period. That's right. The double yellow. That's they held a lot of possession.
Less than helpful on that one.
Right. But still not enough for Newcastle to really turn the table on it.
Nope. Let's jump over to Devon, Exeter, and Wasp. Wasp pulled out of the fire, and there was nobody that was laughing their ass off harder than me in a couple households. I can tell you that much. It's hard to feel bad for a team when they're doing that super racist chant for the whole match. I'm like, I don't have any bad feelings. Sorry.
No. And the guys, like, the players played well. Some of them. They had a number 6 that was all over the pitch, Pearson, which was crazy to see.
Big old boy on that.
How is Ewers in front? I mean, I realize Ewers had to drop. He was ill or something, but it's like, okay, Baxter, like, what more do you need to see?
Right, guys actually, getting the bit between their teeth and taking their chances instead of, there's no reason to think that even if you're dismissing Pearson because he's young, like Grondona was very good. I don't see a reason why you can't stick him at 6.
Right.
No, I don't.
Like all three. I thought
bring Simmons back and stick him at 6.
All 3 of them were great.
Nah.
Capstick was fantastic too.
Yeah, Capstick. I'm a huge Richard Capstick fan.
Like, why isn't he? Kirsten was fine at lock.
Yeah, keep him there.
Keep him there.
He causes less damage there.
Right. Like he plays lock. Why? Like when he's out around the pitch, why not just have him at lock? And you have these guys who can run, and it's just
I don't have the answers for it, but I can tell you Exeter doesn't have an answer for Paulo Odogwu.
They do not. That was I'm super happy I picked him up for the week.
The first try was great, and then that last one obviously was just another level because of what it meant. Right.
It was a walk. It was a Johnny May special.
A little bit, yeah.
The first one took a little bit of talent. The second one was a Jack Noel, Johnny May.
I don't have to do a whole lot and fall over this line.
Right. Well worked by the whole team and well spotted by him to be screaming for that ball. I think the person inside of him thought he should got it, and it went.
He's Bassett. Yeah, he's just like, nope, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
No. He's got nobody's stopping him. You might get stopped because just where the defense was.
Right. And for Exeter's sake, why the fuck doesn't Tom Hendrickson get more time? I know he screwed up a try and that probably would have put the nail in the coffin, but apart from that, I don't know a whole lot else what he did wrong.
Right.
Honestly, like get him more playing time. Him and Slade, I think would be fun. And that would just
that would be fantastic. That would be so much fun.
That'd be a great midfield for Exeter. And why Devoto and Ian Whitten exist in front of him.
When you have you have Ollie Woodburn and Tom O'Flaherty, like even if you like no, well there's there's three there, then you have Hodge along with Hogg. It's like you have all these guys it's one of those, like you have all these flavors to choose and you pick salty. Like
I don't even know if salty. That's bland. That's just bland. That's
right.
no flavor.
That's true. Yeah.
That's no flavor right there. Salty doesn't even. Yeah, no, that's being nice.
Right. But it's because I was just thinking salty as in the attitude salty, because it's like, damn, that's what they are. They're a little grumpy and they don't need to be. Like they could be runny and like expensive, as we saw, and they choose not to be, and that annoys the fuck out of me. If you
annoys the fuck out of a lot of people,
if you didn't notice. So yes, I'm perfectly happy, even though Exeter played a game that I would like to see them play more often. As soon as that chant came out, I was like, fuck this team,
fuck this guy, fuck these guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's like, okay, yeah, good for Wasps.
Yeah, well done, Wasp, and that's probably going to be one of their stronger teams they put out, which is great.
It is, and they got Jacob Umaga coming back this week, so
Willis will be back soon.
Yeah,
both of them. All right, let's jump up to Stone X, Saracens and Bath. We won't spend too much time on this one. The one guy I think we need to spend the most time on is one Theodore McFarland. Wow! This kid is just good, and I thank you, Dallas Jackals, for being a bunch of morons.
Seriously.
Wow, like what a get this guy's been. Woo! I love him.
And that fend off with the try, just like sit the fuck down. I got a try line to get to.
Oh man, sit down. It was Joe Simpson, I think. Poor little guy.
Oh. Well, I mean, if you're gonna do it, you do it to the scrummy.
So. Sorry, bud. Oh man, yeah, he just like, nah, sorry, like a fly, just swatted them. Oh boy, that was bad. But this is, unfortunately, Bath are still a little bit Bath, and this is them kind of crashing down to earth after they've had a couple of really good matches. And Saris have had a couple of really poor matches, and this is them getting the bit back between their teeth and saying, no more fucking around.
Yeah. I mean, even hold on, I gotta go to the timeline on this one. Were Saris kicking early too on this one? Didn't they kick penalties early? Yeah. Laws kicked 2 penalties and then
they went for
it. And it wasn't until Wollstonecroft got his try that it was like, okay, now
but that was a conscious decision to go for the corner, though. I do remember that.
Right,
that was near the half. Near the end of the half, they're like, all right, let's end this with a good try to go in and get a little momentum. So I was glad they did that. And then they had, and then they got another one just by chance as well, with Wollstonecroft getting the second one. I was like, oh, okay, that'll do too. That'll work as well.
Yeah, did not mind that. I mean, he's so fucking good.
He's very quality.
Like just a solid player all around, like rugby player too, because he does he does all the things rugby players do. He runs, he can catch, he can throw, he can tackle, like just a rugby player right there.
He is. So Sarri's back on the good, and we'll see what happens this weekend with old friends coming into town. Let's jump up to Welford Road and Leicester. Again, not a ton to report on here. The only reason that this thing looks close is because of the Alex Hurl. It was the Alex Hurl intercept, I believe, and that's it. Really, this was all Leicester all day. Sam Hackey, he looks to be another good get for the Leicester Tigers. Woo!
Well, I mean, he's playing wing against Worcester, so
I know, but still, he's not. But he's continuously getting it done. That's the thing.
He is. No,
it's not like he's doing this only here. He's done it everywhere at this point.
Right.
So
I meant no disrespect. It was just more in jest than anything. But yeah, no, he's shown flashes, and now like sometimes you need a practice girl to. Okay, no, this is how.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them right there. Yeah, we saw the return of Hunter Liebenberg, and he was obviously up to his old tricks, so good for him. Leicester didn't need to change a whole lot of what they wanted to do in this match in order to find success, because Worcester was coming in, Jamie Shilcock playing, not Shilcock, Searle playing 10, which is just barf.
Yeah, you're not really
No, you're in trouble as soon
Putting
as
out
that
your
happens.
best.
No Finn Smith, no Owen Williams able to play here.
Right.
Missing just tons and tons of players here, and that's just obviously Duhan makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
But it's where it's at, where we're at in this time of the year. So you're gonna have to suffer with the best of them sometimes.
Right.
So sorry, Worcester. Just a whole lot of not good for you, and Leicester still have plenty in the tank, and that's just the bad news for them. And then really, I wish we had more to jump over to on Sunday, but more of the same for Sale, the way they've been playing, and a lot more of the same of the way Quins have been playing lately, which is not great. For I'm not trying to poo-poo all of them, but damn, they've not been good.
No, they haven't. They're it's clear that missing, Dom Brandt and Smith and Marchant. They had Lina and Northmore, and I thought that overall they played pretty well. Esterhazen got the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, he was having a butt day.
I mean, Dupria and Van Rensburg were not about to let him do anything.
No, they realized what was in front of them, and they were like, "We're going to pick on you.
Gonna hit
if
you.
Somebody else can beat us, great. And if they can't, well, then we've done our job."
Yeah,
so it was a tough day all around for.
And then Tuilagi, it was Tuilagi who just
Tui came in and just one step, pow.
Right,
it's like, ooh, that looks familiar.
My fucking pitch, dude. For a guy that apparently the English were like, hey, how are your grandparents? Do they have any connections to England?
Yeah, I don't think you need that, guys. I think you got plenty.
Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah.
And we saw the back three we wanted to see with Reed, Roebuck, and James, and still came up good.
Excellent. They all looked quite good, and it really compliment. I mean, even Robert Dupria had a great game. I think
when those guys score in a brace, it's bad news.
Yeah, and it's having that threat outside that really helps. They he's a guy he can't really create his own space, but if you give him space, he's going to be fucking dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Roebuck, Reed, and Luke James I think he's good.
Yeah, he is good. He is good. He is good. I've been waiting for him to come good because we know he's better than his brothers. Brothers not that good. Right. We know he's better than him.
He's like 21.
We picked up. We know he picked up like a rib injury on that little fold up. I was like, "Ooh, that's uncomfortable." I'm glad that's all it was, is a rib. It could have been way worse. So still might miss this week with that, but looks good just the same. Tom Roebuck should never leave this lineup.
Right.
Never ever. Not in a million years. I don't care who's healthy. You should never leave this lineup. And I'm sure Sanderson's not dumb enough to think otherwise. So,
well, I mean, who else do they really have? I mean, we know that they have Jags. We've been talking about that. I think this is Sanderson finally having enough of their shit, and especially with Sale dropping, they were towards the top of the table early in the season, if I recall.
Yeah, and they were in free fall,
and now they're just kind of so and obviously with whatever happened a couple weeks ago,
right,
it's like, okay, no, this isn't working. It's since then they obviously have more opportunity at this position, and the young guys are taking advantage, so why not just let
here we
go?
are.
I mean, absolutely. I trust Sanderson to get that right.
I think you and I both would agree on that one, no doubt. All right, so Sale on the ups, Quins not so much. We'll see if they right the ship.
But Tizzard scored.
Yeah, big Hugh.
Future Sari.
Big Tiz. Big Tiz.
Nice little try, too.
Yeah, good on him. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's rare that you can come outside the top 6 and get to the top 4 on the second half, but it's been done. So we'll find out if Sale, in fact, get there. And I'm sure they're at least aiming top 6 at this point. So,
which itself is going to be a
lot. Nice. Yeah, I mean,
they're only 3 points out, but still,
there's a lot. That's a crowded area right now,
right? And Bristol are not going way behind them either, so they can't really afford to slip because that's competition too.
Yep, agreed. So it should be a fun race to the top 6. This is why I like the top 6 a little bit better too. Like top 8, everybody just kind of takes a chill pill,
right?
And we're not going to get to top 4, but we're top 8. That's cool. top 6, like fucking fight for the damn thing, and you'll be good value for it when you get into that comp next year. We'll talk about our favorite team, and then we'll do the whip around for the MLR kickoff. Yeah, here we are. We were talking with Bill the other week, and apparently we've had blinders on because apparently the Free Jacks were an underdog in this past weekend. And I was like, how the hell are we underdogs? I did not think we were underdogs in that match. And I understand they have Dublin, but Dublin was a dick in this thing anyway. But
they also, I mean, they really were a foil for the Free Jacks last year. Like,
I understand.
In their side.
They were huge.
And it's like when a team kind of like almost like a big brother kind of thing. And that can get squirrely.
You bet.
You can get really in people's heads, and it can be a long-term thing, just whether or not you're better than the other team. So good on the Free Jacks for stepping up and just smacking them in the face. Like,
it was brilliant.
Right up, right off the start. Obviously, had that first try. With the intercept, or was it or just the? No,
there was just a little feed there that we had.
Okay, yeah,
that was great. Walking down the sideline.
Right. I remember it was an open play. I just couldn't remember if it was intercept or if it was just a broken line and
no, it was broken
some
play.
Sort of turnover situation.
It was a broken play.
Okay.
But really good stuff from the boys. I like this center pairing. Jack Reeves looks really good. I really like him. The back three is Waka is not our long-term 10. Should Harry Boyle want to stick around long, he is. But I do appreciate that he's obviously playing 10 right now because he's definitely the best thing we got.
Right.
And it's very helpful to obviously have Barlow, Bellicana, Fife, and then Mitch Wilson off the bench. Like, that's great, I
mean, there's just attack on attack out there. So yeah, no, it's great if that the depth that they have out wide too.
Really good.
Real good.
Yeah, really good stuff. Slade McDowell's got to turn it down just a wee bit because he got a couple of penalties flipped on him for being stupid. Cut the shithousery back. Everything else was really good. Like, the dude was a tackle machine. He looks very 7-ish.
Right.
No doubt.
Right.
I will say on the other side for NOLA, Robbie Coleman is an asshole if he thought that he was not going to get carded for that hit on Waka. That's a men's league thing, dude.
Yeah.
That's something you do at club level, not here where, I know we're still kind of a joke of a professional league, but if we want to be a professional league, those hits cannot be here at all.
Right.
Like, get the hell out of here. So for him to be like, oh, I didn't do anything. I was like, you're a fucking idiot.
Exactly what you did. Like,
you knew what you did. Right. And had freaking Johnny Poland not scored, that would have definitely been a penalty try.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it would have been a yellow card either way.
Johnny Poland.
Yeah, I love JP.
Have nothing but good to say about that.
Yeah, that's a nice little bit right there. We got him with him there. But yeah, 9 and 10, not a problem for the Free Jacks.
That's just and the lock situation seems pretty sorted.
Yeah, the two Canadians.
We're just powerful. And again, that's it kind of started with them. And yeah, I think they got what was it? They got a little overzealous at the time. What was it? One of the Free Jacks spiked the ball at one of the
that was McDowell.
Yeah.
That was McDowell.
Yeah.
That was my point about that guy.
Right.
Like, you gotta chill out, dude. But they did and NOLA really wanted to try and hammer that driving maul over the line. After about the 10th one, they got one. Yeah. But like, that's a really good bit of defense right there from the Free Jacks to just keep repelling that and keep either getting the turnovers or making them use it, one or the other. And at this level, you'd expect one of those to get shoved over after 2 or 3, let alone 8, 9. So I am very happy with the way the boys played. The defense was all over the place. Really, NOLA just got some consolation points in the end.
Right, and that was excellent all around rugby, I think, from the Free Jacks. So real good way to start the season too, away from home, and they'll be away for a little bit. Like, statement win.
Deserved week off this week.
Yeah, they earned it.
They got an early bye.
Ice up, boys.
Yeah, New York had the bye last week. Whip around. Atlanta pounded Old Glory. My goodness, I did not have that on my bingo board. I knew Atlanta had lost some stuff, but apparently not that much. Yeah. Gilgroni's no shock there, 43-7. Although they're good. I hate pumping them up for that stupid Navy thing they did, that Navy SEALs thing they did. I wanted to kick everybody in that room. I was like, oh, I hate you all. Sabercats down the defending champions, Los Angeles. My goodness, what the hell? How the hell that happened? Wow. Did not have that. And the guy that was supposedly they had two of their best players leave last year. We got one of them, and then the other one went to New York. How the hell did that happen? My goodness. Lots to fix there, I'd say. If you're honest, Los Angeles. Yeesh. I know Luke Carty's out, and I'm not sure that they have everything that they want ready to go, but woo boy. They're losing to what was the worst team in the league last year. Not good. Not good to start. Heineken Mayer is the DOR at Houston now, apparently, though. So he was not bad once upon a yesteryear. So I guess we'll see if he's got something in the tank. Legion in Utah, it looks closer than it was. I actually watched that match.
Me too.
Yeah, that was that was Utah getting a couple consolation ones late.
It really was. Like they were credit to them for not fighting, but San Diego had already got their bonus point win, and we're just like, fuck it, whatever. Like we're not losing this match. It was like they did get like too late, and it was just too late.
Way too late.
Yeah, too late.
So I will quietly cheer for San Diego Legion and our old friend Will Hooley. And then Seattle just, sorry, Toronto, like rough way to start the year cross country, and
that is
away
rough though. Whoa. I mean, so let's put it this way. If Toronto is the team that they're expected to be, that they're the number one ranked team in the East by certain people's power rankings, they can't lose to Seattle by double digits on the road. Like,
but people think Seattle's going to be like what they used to be, which I don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening. No, I don't see it either. I mean, maybe, but either way,
nothing really changed up there, honestly.
Right. Like either way, they're still like there might be up and coming, but Toronto is supposed to be the one of those. They're supposed to be the man, so they got to win these kind of games. They got to beat down teams like
we'll see.
You got to see more. Like, I see the Free Jacks against NOLA as, them nutting up and beating a team that they should beat.
Yeah, this is fixing some demons from last year, no doubt.
Right. So I'd like to see Toronto start winning matches like that, because you gotta be facing some adversity there and being, coming out ahead, not losing by double digits.
Yeah. Overall, for the weekend, I would say I'm glad to see the TMO is in effect. It needed to be. I don't think it was. We were talking about that with that. I was not convinced it was in effect until it finally happened on that Coleman shot. I was just like, have we been using TMO this whole time? No. Okay, cool.
Right. Because no, that's not.
So it needs improvement, but at least it's there.
Right.
It's in the right direction. Next weekend it'll be Seattle and Utah, Toronto hosts, quote unquote, Los Angeles. They're going to be in BC. San Diego and Dallas, New Orleans and Atlanta, Houston, New York hosts New York. That's a rough trip from New York right now. They gotta fix that. It's not Rugby United New York anymore. It's just Rugby.
It's Rugby New York.
That's
on MLR's. That's on MLR's page too.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. And then Austin will host DC. DC gets to stay in the warm weather for another week, looks like, and then they're gonna be. I think they're hosting us next week.
Although,
week after other.
If we are talking about Rugby New York, it is really Rugby New Jersey. So,
are they playing in Jersey this year?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Condolences, New York fans. Right. Sorry. Okay. Lots to cover, but I think we did a decent job of not getting too carried away. We'll be on for Fantasy Corner in a little bit here. So if you're coming for that, stick around. If not, we will catch you guys next week. Another fun round of Six Nations coming up. So enjoy, everybody. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out.
Later.
Good.